All right, well, we're here, we're live. Welcome to the first episode of the Icy Talk Show, and I'm here with the man, not quite a myth, definitely a legend, Gary Franks of Bagel Deli. So I just want to give you guys some intro context if you've never heard of Bagel Deli. If you're in Oxford, you definitely have, but if you're not in Oxford, you may have not. One of Uptown Oxford's favorite attractions and eateries, Bagel Deli, has been the home of delicious foods and awesome moods since 1975. Over 45 years, 18 bagel flavors, 90 plus outrageous combinations, one fantastic experience. It's the face of Ohio's best college town food via tasting table and a shop so innovative it inspired then Taco Bell and currently Chipotle CEO Brian.
I like that you've been done doing your research. I like the way that
Just
sounds.
a little bit. So, from the little backstory I did, you helped open in the early 2000s after completing grad school.
So actually, that didn't help open. It's been here since 1975.
Right. Okay. So that was how they phrased it. The article got it wrong.
Yeah.
They said open.
Articles get us wrong all the time.
Yeah.
So I'm a partner in the establishment. My business partner Ned Stevenson started this back in 1975. Believe it or not.
And that's what the article on the website talked about.
Okay.
How like you've been in it for a while, Ned's been in it, and then you joined Ned.
Yeah.
In
96. Yeah.
96.
Moved back here. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
So,
articles fudge up the details.
Yeah.
That's why you got to do your critical thinking, do your research. So you're quoted in an article saying, "I never saw myself staying in Oxford, but after I finished school, the offer was there, and I wanted to give it a try."
Yeah, that's true. And I graduated. I left for a year or two, and then decided to be a good idea to come back. Yeah.
Okay. So sort of like talk to me about what it means sort of to jump out on faith on a venture like this. It's like an offer that a lot of college students, like, they graduate, they get their degree, and then they leave Oxford.
And then yeah. I always liked Oxford, and I spent a lot of time. I did my undergrad and my grad school here. I spent most of my summers here. And when you spend, people don't spend summers here as much anymore. Now you take classes online. But back in the day, if you wanted to, graduate on time, a lot of time you ended up spending summers
or winters
to catch up on stuff.
Yeah.
And I really liked the town in the summer. It's a great, you kind of get a better feel for like the people that actually live here. And I was like, this is a pretty cool place.
The townies, as we call them.
It's not as overwhelmed by college students.
Right.
And and I kind of like. My sister went to school here too.
Yeah.
Came back to visit periodically after I left, and I was like, that's not a bad place to live. So.
I mean, I agree. Like, I'm living and working in the city right now.
Yeah.
And I mean, after getting in some hot water with Miami, I'm basically forced to like integrate myself within the community.
Right.
Like, I can't even be on campus anymore.
Yeah.
So like I'm forced to accept and enjoy Oxford for what it is and its own merits as a town.
Right.
Instead of the image that everybody sees of it being attached to the university.
Right.
Like the university makes the town. It's the other way around actually.
Yeah, and the university is a huge presence in the town, and I always tell people like it's almost like living in two different towns when the students are here and when they're not here. It's like you picked up and moved to a new place, but this is a whole different
but it's all in one place.
Yeah. I
mean, it's a beautiful day outside. Like you can't get better Ohio weather than what shows up here in Oxford some days.
No, especially on a
perfect
early March day. It's perfect today.
All right, so just wanted to segue into a quote from Oxford's Assistant City Manager, Jessica Green. She said, "Anytime you can help people who work in Oxford to also live in the community, it's a good thing." And I think, Oxford's small businesses are, like, encompassing that better than any other town in Ohio from the limited knowledge I have.
Yeah, I think it's definitely good here. I think you could probably look at a few other college towns that are similar, but
Athens maybe.
Athens, I spent a lot of time in Athens. Like my daughter is probably going to Athens.
Right.
But most likely she wants to get out of here.
Yeah, it's one of those great like small town experiences. Both Ohio University and Athens and Miami University.
Off on a tangent, my daughter growing up here, this is too close for her, but. It's got a lot of similar characteristics, but far enough away.
Right.
But I think Jessica's absolutely right. I think the more people that live here in town and work here in town, the better the town's going to be.
I agree.
You got more invested in the town when you're here all the time.
I agree. And then like my first quote, sort of on the business side of things, it's like, is Bagel performing as you'd like it to?
Yeah, ideally we'd be busy all the time.
Right.
Not right now.
Midday on a weekday.
And on weekends we kill it on the weekends.
Right.
Pretty much every weekend there's stuff going on in town. People are out and about.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always like, earlier in the week, I always thought, it'd be nice to have a little more business, but people just like settle in, Sunday night, Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah.
People don't go out as
Hey, if
much.
you capitalize on those peak times, hey.
Yeah. So, and that gives it does give us a little downtime, time to get, rebuild everything for the weekend. We basically, start. As soon as the weekend's over on Monday, we start. All right, what do we need to do
that
for next
recovery time is
right.
that. I think that recovery time is really important. If you guys were maybe busy all the time, like you have in your head, like
might burn out.
Might burn out.
Yeah.
And I had a personal experience very similar to that, where I had something going on all the time.
Right.
My brain eventually broke. It was just too much going on for me to handle. And I didn't have the wisdom to cut back in the middle of it, so I just had to retract myself from everything at once.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you may have a similar experience if it ever gets to that level. Bagel has a unique, eccentric, and artistic vibe. Has it always been like this?
It always has been. Way back when I came to school here, was like 1988. It had a similar feel, and it just keeps accumulating it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, more and more stuff on the walls.
Right.
You can't, we don't have a public bathroom here, but our employee restroom is graffiti all over the walls, going back to where, it's like, wow, this was written in, 1980 something, and all the stuff on the walls, it's not like we sat down. You go into like, kind of like chain restaurants and stuff to try and mimic that feel, but it's like, somebody in marketing sat down and said, what do we want to put on the walls? This is just,
it's just natural.
It's very character authentic. Of myself, character of Ned, and the people that worked here over the years. It's just accumulated.
That's awesome. So I bet that would probably be something you'd look for in a future owner or co-owner.
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah, just
keeping it weird,
embed themselves in the place,
keeping it weird in a good way.
Yeah.
What's your relationship been with Ned since joining?
It's been good. I'm I started. He's about 20 years older than I am.
Mm-hmm.
When I worked here, myself and one other guy ended up. We were kind of running the place, along with, and he was working. He's pretty much retired from making sandwiches now, but back then he was in here every day too, making sandwiches. And we both graduated and went our separate ways. But this other guy, Greg, and I, and that's kind of when Ned realized, hey, this has gotten a little bigger than something that one person can do.
Right.
I need somebody.
And that takes wisdom. That takes a really smart business person to be like, hey, I can't do this alone. Yeah, a lot of people get attached and they're like, this is my baby and I can't let it go.
Yeah.
And that's how businesses die.
And so he made me the offer to come back. The first time I was like, no, I don't. I've been out of school for about a year. I was like, no, I don't think I want to do that. Didn't really, wasn't ready. And then I was back a year later. My sister was getting ready to graduate. And, he was like, hey, that offer is a standing offer if you ever change your mind. And at that point, I'd been out 2 years out in the real world.
Power of a standing offer.
And I was like,
leaving the door open.
Maybe not a bad idea.
Letting people walk into it.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. So this is one of the things I'm interested in. I mean, I'm currently doing the challenge. So for people that don't know the challenge, I'm trying to finish every bagel on the menu. And then I get immortalized over here with these beautiful people like Matthew, Javi, Dan. Dan was the first African American to complete the challenge. So I don't know if I'll be the second. So I may be the second. But
Rachel says the third.
Oh, the third. Okay. So I wanted to mention about getting a custom bagel. It's possible, but it's not easy. And
it is not easy.
I bet there are very few that have been able to do it. Step 1, either be famous or create a unique bagel combination. Right. 2, make an eye-catching and cool sign. 3, hope you catch your big break.
Yeah, those are all.
What does it mean to catch the big bagel break?
The big break? I don't know. You got to get. Getting a sign up on the wall. We don't have a whole lot of space left anymore, so we've got a little bit reserved up there.
Okay.
We do like a competition with one of the groups on campus once a year to try and put something up there.
Map, the bagel competition.
Map,
Who
we
won?
just did that. It was the Salami Mommy. Her name's on there. It's I can't recall her name, but it's up on the sign.
Shout out to Salami Mommy.
Yeah, and so we do that once a year, and people bring stuff in sometimes. The hardest thing is almost everything walks in here has a bagel that's like their thing
their
already.
Favorite, their regular. So
it's
in
really
order to step out.
It's got to catch their eye. You got to look at it and be like, you know what? That looks even better than what I normally get.
Right.
And that's tough to do.
Good point.
Especially now, I remember
Moving
when we had
from the 10 boards to the main menu, the bagel
Yeah.
has to be ordered enough times that the staff members have
Right.
it memorized.
And if it's been up there for a few weeks and nobody here even knows what it is, it's
Right.
not getting ordered enough. But if you're like, hey, wait a minute, I know what's on that because people are ordering it, then it's
Right.
got a better chance of sticking around.
Makes sense. What do you think my chances are of getting a custom bagel? I know right now it's like 0. But I'm saying like
pretty slim.
Pretty slim.
You never know.
I accept it.
And some of the bagels that are up there, I would have thought,
you'll never make it.
That's
and
not
then
that great, and then it does, yeah.
Right. That's important. Okay, so I got a list from a website, 10 bagels that will blow your mind. And I want to get your opinions on these bagels.
Okay.
Lottery bagel. 1 meat, 1 cheese, 2 solid toppings, 2 liquid toppings, all selected by workers at the shop.
Right. I mean, lottery bagel, it's a lottery bagel because it's luck of the draw.
Right.
I think just about everybody here that works here has their own kind of custom things. They're kind of custom go-tos that they go to that they think are good.
Right.
Whether you're going to share their taste or not.
Yeah, and that goes, it's like, are the workers trying to make it good, or some days they feel like being mean and trolling?
Yeah, I think most of the time they try to make something really good. Something a little off the radar. Like a twist on something that's up there already, where you change out a couple things. So I think if you got a pretty broad palate, it's a good choice. If you're really picky, I'd stay away from it.
Fair enough. Crunch and Munch, and this is a university favorite. From the murmurings I've heard, everybody knows about the Crunch and Munch. So it's turkey, smoked cheddar, lettuce, honey mustard, Parmesan peppercorn, and Doritos on top.
It's good. I mean, that's been like the crowd favorite for probably 15 years now, at least. So.
Dominance.
It's withstood the test of time.
Dominance.
It really caught on, and that's one that, like I said, that's one that blows me away. That is the most popular bagel, but
it blows you.
People love it.
Okay, people love it. Gary doesn't.
No, I think it's good. Right. I have things that
but just to be ordered this.
I have things that I like better, but a lot of people love that better.
Very, very diplomatic. Ozzy's favorite: corned beef, double Swiss cheese, horseradish on an onion.
I think that's a good one. Another one, like, it's our horseradish. We use like a real prepared horseradish, not like horseshoe sauce.
Right.
So you got to like some kick to your bagel if you want to do that.
Okay. Ozzy's favorite for those who like some kick. Cookie Monster. Cream cheese, cinnamon, and a chocolate chip cookie on a blueberry bagel. I've never heard of this bagel.
It has a huge following.
Really?
I make those a lot more than you would think.
I've never heard of this
if you got a sweet tooth and you want something like more of a dessert kind of sandwich, that's it.
That's fire. I've never heard of that ever. I mean, me personally, if it was my palate, I'd replace cream cheese with ice cream, but that seems pretty good. Random bagel. Veggie cream cheese, Colby, provolone, cucumbers, tomato sprouts, and mustard on deal.
Yeah, so that's an old list you pulled out from because we don't have sprouts anymore because we had to get rid of sprouts.
Oh, okay.
So everything's got sprouts has spinach now. Sprouts had so many recalls that
it was everybody, like no point.
All our suppliers stopped carrying them.
Fair enough.
And it became like a special order item. And when things go special order, it kind of means you can get them sometimes. So we just
no point because it can't be consistent.
Right. Okay. But I think random bagel, it's a veggie bagel, but it's got a ton of cheese on it. So
interesting.
I'm not sure health wise you're doing yourself any good, but
for the non-health conscious vegetarian,
if you want something very filling yet without meat, that's a good one.
Fair enough. Urban Cowboy. You get turkey, pepperoni, Colby, banana peppers, onions, barbecue sauce.
I think that's a good bagel.
Good bagel.
I like the spicy, the bagels with a little spice to them. It's got the banana peppers on it, our barbecue sauce has a little bit of kick to it.
This one seems like one I would like.
It's one that it does not get ordered that often, but it's like kind of like an under the radar.
I think I may try this in my next week rotation. This one sounds good. This and Ozzy's favorite seem like the two that have stood out to me. Like, hey, I would probably order this. Chicago Deli, corned beef, Swiss, and mustard on pumpernickel.
Chicago Deli, I think it was like an old guy bagel. If somebody comes in here and they're like, gray hair, over 60, a lot of times.
They may catch their eye.
Yeah, and maybe not even over 60, but we sell a lot of those on like dad's weekends or like graduation weekends when like grandparents are in town and stuff like that. Okay. It's pretty simple.
For the older folks.
Right.
All right. Super deluxe. This is actually what I just had a little bit earlier. Scrambled egg, bacon, roast beef, half cheddar, half American, honey mustard, salt and pepper on everything. Yeah. I like everything.
Okay, that's not a super deluxe. That's also another That's actually a.
That's an old relic.
No, that's a Dank and Eggs on there.
This is the Dank and Eggs.
Yeah, instead of Super Deluxe, it's a Dank and
Wow,
Eggs.
the Super Deluxe is different now.
Super Deluxe is what you had.
Right. What did I have?
Super Deluxe has the same cheeses, but it's got ham instead. It's on an egg bagel. The Dank and Eggs is roast beef, everything bagel, and you have honey mustard, salt, and pepper.
Wow. Okay,
They're both
so I
good.
think I like the Dank and Eggs a little bit better, just how it sounds to me. But
they're both really good. Yeah.
They're pretty good. All right, second to last, banana surprise, cream cheese, banana slices, and cinnamon on banana nut.
Okay.
I don't think I would like this.
Not my favorite, but a lot of people do like that one. I like my bananas. I just like a banana. I don't like bananas in things.
Right.
So for me personally, it's I don't want to eat bananas on a sandwich.
Fair enough.
But there are a lot of people that do, and
I like bananas and like oatmeal.
That's big with like swimmers.
Interesting.
Swim weekends, we sell tons of those.
Interesting.
And again, it's people with like more of like a sweet tooth.
Right. Last one, top 10, rounding out the top 10. Jeopardy bagel. What is ham, Swiss, and Colby on sourdough roll?
Another real basic.
Seems classic.
Basic bagel.
Basic. Can't really go wrong.
Another one I think like older crowd bagel.
Okay.
Just ham and cheese.
Now I want to challenge you to list your top 10, or we can go top 5.
Let's go top 5.
Top 5?
Yeah, top 10.
Let's
Burt Reynolds bagel.
Burt Reynolds.
One of my favorites.
Burt Reynolds.
So Conrad bagel.
Conrad.
I always like an Italian bagel, which is not
Italian.
Italian bagel is one like an Italian sandwich is like a good just benchmark sandwich. Anywhere I travel, I'm like,
right.
Oh, I gotta get an
Italian sandwich. I'm with
yeah.
you.
I like man, on top of that, I like to get swanked at times. That's
get swanked.
And then number 5 is one that I make. It's a kind of a twist on 2 different bagels. It's kind of like a Misty's Bloodbath.
Okay.
Kind of like an Angry Beaver.
Okay.
Kind of my own twist. So, but I do roast beef.
The Gary special.
So roast beef, smoked cheddar cheese, avocado, onion, dash of cayenne, dash of mayo.
Wow.
Usually on an onion bagel.
Unique, special, eccentric, weird in a good way.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the hoodie. A classic, uniquely Miami piece of apparel. Yeah. The bear holding the bagel.
Right.
What does where did the hoodie originate from, and how helpful has this massive, lucrative marketing tool been for the shop?
I mean, the bear is it's a Grateful Dead bear. We've always had a lot of Deadhead employees going way back, and about probably almost like 20 years ago, somebody was like, "Hey, they sketched a little design. We should do this just for employees."
Right.
And we printed some up.
And it grew from
people,
a uniform.
And people went into and it was something just employees had, and then everybody was like, "Hey, can I get one of those? Can I get one of those?" We started printing them and selling them, and then somehow it took off. And,
from a uniform to an icon, symbol.
And it wasn't even a uniform. It was just these
would just like wear.
These would be fun to have.
Yeah, like Skipper's has a bunch of different shirts that people wear.
Yeah.
So kind of similar to that.
And now we sell, a few thousand a year. Wow. And we ship them. We've shipped them across overseas. We've shipped them, all over the United States. But I just had a guy that used to work here about 10 years ago message me one morning. He's like, I just ran into this girl in Northern Ireland.
She was wearing a bagel.
And I've shipped one hoodie to Northern Ireland.
Really?
And it's happened to cross paths with a former employee who was over there and ran into her.
That's sick. I had a story where I don't even remember where I was, but I knew I was in a Walmart, I think. And I ran into a dude. I think this was back in my hometown in Columbus. So it was either in Pickerington or Westerville, a Walmart out there. And I ran into a dude wearing a bagel and a hoodie, and I was like, "You have to be from Miami."
Yeah.
I was like, "There's no other way." And he was like, I graduated. And I was like, "Whoa, that's sick." And so we just connected instantly because we were both from Miami, but I only knew that he was from Miami because of the hoodie. So
they're all over because people graduate and they order them, and we ship them out almost every day somewhere.
That's sick. So if you see a Bagel and Deli hoodie out there, they've been touched by Oxford. Electric steam press bagels can't be that bad for the environment. They can't. They're not. Like their carbon footprint is
right.
Not bad at all. So I was saying, how does the shop?
Electric.
So I was just curious, how does the shop view and foresee the increase in climate-focused business? Because a lot of businesses are focused on what are you doing for the climate? Everybody's asking businesses, what are they doing?
That's a good question. We recycle. We try and be efficient, but that's
because I don't see Bagel and Deli at the juncture point of any major fossil fuel. I just thought because it's when you think of sustainable business, you don't necessarily think of Bagel and Deli, but you are.
Yeah.
like automatic. So
yeah, I mean, I think
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't, I've never really thought that much about it other than try and recycle, try and not use that, not overuse things, but
Right.
Like I think everybody.
Well, it's
here,
not like Bagel needs a climate action
right,
plan. Like the whole
right,
university's having
right,
one, and they're enacting different processes
right.
and things, trying to be more efficient. But
Yeah,
I mean, electric steam press can't go wrong.
yeah, yeah.
So good stuff. And then another question I had about the future is just like, how do you see Bagel changing in the near, not too distant future?
I never like a lot of change.
Fair enough. I mean, you guys got a formula, and
we're
it works.
traditional in that people who come in here from there's somebody in here today who's like how long you guys been around? And we're like pushing 50 years now. And he's like, well, I guess when I first started coming here, it was new, pretty much. He was like, it was
right.
like 1977 or something, And he's like, but he's been coming back ever since. So
2025 is 50th anniversary, right?
Yeah, yeah. So we want people who come back here to be like, all right, everything looks pretty much the same. There's always, and if I started to break it down, we've made hundreds of little changes, but all trying to keep it in the same spirit of what it's always been.
I mean, that's what a brand is, like consistent.
Yeah.
So like if you want a weird, good tasting bagel, come to Bagel.
So if you graduated 30 years ago, you can come in and hopefully get the same bagel you got, and it's going to taste just like it was from what you remember 30 years ago.
And then this is just an offshoot, like sort of a tangent that I just started thinking about. It's like there are also options to get these things on subs. So like with Bagel being in the name and Bagel being the brand, what are your sub sales
like? We don't sell hardly any subs. I mean, bagels are what we're known for.
Right.
We've got subs because there's some people that are just like they don't want a bagel.
Fair enough.
There are those few people out there that want like their sandwich on just bread, but
right.
Anyone who works here will tell you a bagel is the way to go.
Fair enough. And I think I heard that the other day.
Yeah.
I think I was thinking about ordering a sub, and I think the person I was with was like, "Bro, just get a bagel."
Yeah.
There's no point.
That's pretty good.
Trying to switch it up.
Most of the time, I said.
How big do you think the solar eclipse is going to be for the shop?
That's a good question. I'm worried.
There's supposed to be like a million people or something coming through.
They're talking about all these people, and I've even seen things like cell service might not work because there's gonna be so many people in town, and make sure you fill your car up because gas stations are gonna run out of gas. So, hopefully it'll be a big day. I tend to think the media likes to hype things.
Fair enough.
I think we'll be busier.
But how much busier is like not really.
Because I know there's a lot of people that have like that schools are letting the kids out that day.
Yeah.
And people will be out checking out the eclipse, but I'm not anticipating it being like a weekend day or anything. Even probably a better than average weekday.
Fair enough. Any questions you have before we wrap it up?
I don't think so.
Episode. First inaugural.
Yeah. All right, where can I watch it?
How's it feel to be a legend?
Feels good, I guess. Hey, thank you.
Great to meet you, Gary. Great to have you. And that's all. So stay icy, folks.
All right.